Another important step to meeting the DEA requirements for EPCS and establishing a secure, auditable chain of trust throughout the entire process is credential enrollment, where your providers will enroll the two-factor authentication credentials that they will use for EPCS into the system. Now, this can be done in a supervised fashion. An enrollment supervisor will sit with your providers and help them enroll whatever two-factor authentication credentials they'll use for EPCS. For example, fingerprint biometrics, or perhaps their phone if they're going to use a token. The enrollment supervisor will check the identity of that provider against the list of approved providers for EPCS to ensure that their identity is bound to the authentication credentials that they are enrolling. The enrollment supervisor will then authenticate themselves to serve as a witness that this happened in a DEA-compliant fashion. Then, the provider will authenticate to validate that they were there in person to meet that requirement per the DEA, and again, improve security and establish that chain of trust by binding the identity of that approved, identity-proofed provider for EPCS to the two-factor authentication credentials that they will use to complete the EPCS signing process.
For more information, visit www.improvada.com/EPCS.